She means it, Bea. Any more crusading and that's the end of the stir.
Look, Mr. Faulkner, I am no crusader, but I hate the way you make it sound like a dirty word. Now, you've made your point, and so has Mrs. Davidson.
What do you mean?
You must have got a big kick out of confiscating all those newspapers and showing everyone what a super efficient person you are.
Come on, that's my job.
You could have let a few copies slip through. No one would have known.
I would have known. Look, I help you all I can, but I'm not going to start jeopardizing my job or go against my conscience.
Conscience? You're just like all the rest that rave on about helping us. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty and you have to lay yourself on the line for someone who's getting a raw deal, you chicken out. Conscience? I don't know how any of you sleep nights.
My Uncle Jed always said he only wanted one thing in life, and that was to have a hinge put in the top of his head.
A hinge?
Well, a hinge.
What for?
Well, sometimes people drink his drink and it'd blow the top of their skulls clean off. Now, he didn't want to wake up in the morning with a hangover and go looking for his, did he?
All right, Donahue, get him in.
Yeah, and say a prayer before your first mouthful.
Everybody, this is Jackie Donahue.
Right.
Hello.
What's up with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I have. That's her. That's the girl in the taxi.
What?
That's the one. That's the bitch that's responsible for me being back in here. That's her.
Pretty cool little number, isn't she?
Yeah. I'll soon sort that out. Hello. Remember me?
No. Should I?
Well, the last time I saw you, I was driving a taxi and you were in a spot of bother.
I take a lot of taxis. I don't remember the drivers.
Well, how about the drivers that do time for you? Do you remember them?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're getting me mixed up with someone else.
What's going on? I don't know. Hey, Brian, what's got your knickers in a knot?
Yeah, come on, Jude. Fill us in.
This is the little bitch I was telling you about. I saved her from a drunk in my taxi, so to thank me, she rolled him, emptied his wallet, and left me to take the blame.
Look, she's crazy. I've never seen this old bat before in my life.
Watch your mouth. You're talking about a friend of mine.
I don't know who she's after, but it's not me. I haven't done nothing.
Well, you're going to do something now. You're going to tell the Screws and the governor and the whole bloody world, if necessary, that you're the one that they want and get me out of here.
Leave me alone.
Maybe she needs a little persuasion.
Yeah, let me do it. I'm real good at persuading.
No. Something I got to handle myself.
I don't like having to restrict the women's freedom, but sometimes they give me no choice.
Well, now the papers are confiscated. Hopefully that's an end to it.
Let's hope so. Oh, what about the Donahue girl? Any problems there?
No, not so far. She's very green, though.
Yes, far too green to be sharing a cell with Gaffney. I noticed you've put them together.
Couldn't see any reason why not.
You know that in the past I have always tried to give a woman serving her first sentence a cell of her own.
Yes, well, there weren't any single cells available. Carol Lewis was allotted the last one.
Oh? Well, then it should be quite a simple matter to transfer Donahue into the single cell and put Lewis in with Gaffney. Lewis seems to be able to give as good as she gets. Would you arrange that transfer tonight, please?
Whatever you say. Night.
Look, I'm not going to hurt you. I don't blame you for running out, especially since you didn't know they were going to pin the whole thing on me. But now that you do know, you should do something about it.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about. I keep telling you you're making a mistake.
Listen to me, Jackie. You owe me one. You would have been in big trouble with that drunk if I hadn't helped you. You can't just turn your back on me.
Look, I'm sorry. Really, I am. But I've got to look after myself. I've only got 2 weeks to serve in this hole. I'd be mad to lumber myself with 2 years.
Well, I'm doing 2 years for an assault and robbery I didn't commit. Okay, maybe I can do nothing about that. But they are looking for my accomplice, and we both know who that is.
What's going on in here?
She was just filling me in on things.
Get your things together. You're moving to a single cell. Don't argue with me. Just do as you're told. Come on, Branch. You can get a move on. Sure, Donahue can manage on her own.
Yeah, I bet she can.
No good, huh?
No. I'm back to square one. You know, when I saw that girl, I really thought I was going to get out of this place once and for all. Huh. I should have known better.
But she can't just keep denying everything.
Can't she? I mean, she's after number one. You can't blame her for that, I guess. The only thing is, I don't know how I'm going to tell Laurie I'm back inside. I mean, what's it going to do?
Oh, come on, love.
Please, Bea, leave me alone.
Poor old Jude. She always gets the dirty end of the stick.
Yeah. Look, all we've got to do is put the wind up little Miss Innocence so she'll spill her guts to the screws and get Jude off the hook.
Oh, God, Margot, you're so subtle. What do you suggest? Thumb screws?
How about a good swift kick to the head? I'll do it if you like, seeing as how she's in my cell.
There must be some way of pressuring her without landing ourselves in a pound.
You lot gone bloody soft or something.
Oh, why don't you just leave your mouth in neutral and give us all a rest? This is Judy's business. We're not having anyone unless she asks us to.
Lewis, go and pack your things. You're moving in with Gaffney.
Tonight?
Now. Move it.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, I was getting a bit lonely on my own.
I'll help you pack if you like.
Okay. And a gin and tonic? Okay. Well, that's everyone except me. Won't be tea.
Hi, gorgeous.
Oh, hello.
Where's our old mate, the Admiral? Still up at the fun factory?
Steve. No, he's finished for the day. I think he's working on his boat.
That figures. Scotch and soda, please. Well, what have you been up to? Anything exciting?
Oh, very. I've just spent half the day at the dentist with a rotten toothache.
Rather you than me. I can't stand the dentist. Devout coward, I'm afraid.
Yeah, me too. And I've got to go back tomorrow and have the darn thing out.
Oh. Pity old Steve didn't come in for a drink. I was having to get a look at the latest copy of The Stir, hot off the presses.
Oh, well, I don't know about hot, but I've got a rather creased copy in my bag you can look at if you like.
Well, don't keep me in suspenders. You know I'm the soul of discretion. I just want to read it for a giggle.
Okay.
There you go. I reckon we're going to get on real well. Pity I won't get a chance to sort out that Donahue bitch butt.
Is Judy a good mate of yours, is she?
Bryant? No, not really. Reckon she's a bit of a joke. But see, I can't stand two-timing little sneaks who do the dirty on you and then try and snivel their way out of it.
Like Donahue, you mean?
Oh, Donahue's not the first. I've seen plenty of them. There's two types you don't give the time of day to in this joint, and that's one of them.
What's the other?
Screws who've got it in for you.
Must be interesting.
Sure is. Pretty exciting stuff. Not every day we get the lowdown on the inside.
Oh, so is this going to end up in the Dispatch too?
Are you kidding? If we printed something like this without corroboration, we'd be sued. Maybe even end up in Wentworth.
Oh, hardly. Wentworth's a women's prison, remember?
Well, maybe your B. Smith could give me some hints on journalism. Anyway, I better be going. My editor's still looking for a man bites dog headline. See ya.
Hey, but you've still got my paper.
What? Oh, look, I really appreciate your lending it to me. Here, have a drink on me. So I've got to run.
But I haven't read it yet.
Hi. What do you want? Look, you better get out of here or I'll yell for help.
Oh, I wouldn't say that if I were you.
I wouldn't even think it.
We have a rule in here, kid. Nobody dobs anyone into the screws. You see, that's lagging.
And laggers don't last too long around here.
What do you mean?
What she means is we have our own rules here in Wentworth and our own way of dealing with people who break them.
You're trying to scare me.
No, Jackie, you're so wrong. I'm trying to help you. And that's why you're going to go to Dave-O and clear Judy. Because we all want to stay healthy, don't we, Helen?
Sure do.
But I told you, she's made a mistake.
No way. Judy just doesn't make those sort of mistakes.
Funny thing about the women in here, they really look after people they like. And nobody is better liked than Judy. So Some pretty unpleasant things can happen to anyone who upsets a mate. Accidents happen. Sometimes. Fatal accidents.
But I told you! I'm sick of hearing you. Now, there's no way you can get away from us. So if you want to last your 2 weeks in here, you'll change your tune about Jude, and you've got until tomorrow to think about it. And I wouldn't go running to the screws for protection if I were you. Because I'll know about it.
And, don't think you're going to be any safer on the outside. Because I've got a lot of connections out there, and believe me, life can be pretty scary for a working girl. We don't want to hurt you. So why don't you be sensible? For your own sake.
Hello, darling. You home early?
Yep.
Mwah.
Hi.
Everything all right at work, Mum?
Of course it is. Why shouldn't it be?
Annie, come on, love. You're home now. Just relax.
All right. I guess I'm just a little tired of some of those idiots that seem to forget that the people we're in charge of are just common criminals.
But, Mum, those women, well, they aren't all that bad, are they? Some of them must be okay.
All right, now, that's enough shop talk. What about the problem we got here? One head of the household starving to death.
Yeah, it's the chops. I forgot to turn them down.
You all right, love?
I will be.
I know it must be hard for you having that woman in there, but you've just got to learn to leave that behind at work where it belongs, darling.
You don't understand.
Look, we've got to make this a real home with love and understanding for Jenny so that she can get over all this business and just forget it.
Well, I can't forget it.
But, darling, you've just got to try. The last thing she wants is a neurotic mother.
Come in.
Where are you off to?
Well, some of us have a home to go to, Thomas. I want to see my kids before they grow up and get married.
Sit back down. I promise you, you won't be sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry already. Either you're itching to be fired or you got a great story.
Manna from heaven.
Couldn't this have waited?
Feast your tired old eyes on Queen Bee's latest column. Well?
It's pretty heavy stuff. Prostitution, fraudulent issue of checks, falsification of records.
I know. We really nailed Stanfield this time.
Now, hang on. You ought to know we can't print stuff like this. We've already got one lawsuit on our hands with Stanfield.
But we got corroboration. It's Helen Smart.
Prostitute doing a prison term? Who's going to take her word?
Suppose she's got something concrete. Some proof that'll really pull the rug out from under Stanfield. What could we offer her?
$5 grand. Double if we have to, but it has to be a real clincher, not just her word. And she won't be easy to get to.
No, they're bound to have her on her wraps. But I'll find a way to get in.
Well, I don't want to hear about it. All I know is the Dispatch can't afford another lawsuit. It'd cripple us. Now, you get me the proof and we'll blow Stanfield and his squeaky clean image to hell.
Well, if I have to take up residence in this dump, I'm glad I'm sharing with you and not Margot.
Huh, that's a backhanded compliment. You know, it is funny. I put the two of us together and neither one of us are guilty of what we were busted for.
Poor little innocent lambs.
I wouldn't go that far. Still, you'll be all right. All you have to do is get your story to someone on the outside and you'll be out of this dump in no time.
Oh, God, Judy, I hope you're right. But somehow I don't think so. Stanfield's made certain I'm out of circulation. He's going to make sure I stay that way.
Yeah. Well, looks like we're stuck with each other.
Hey, come on, Jude. Donahue can't hold out forever. Once she confesses, they've got no case against you.
Oh, I wouldn't hold your breath.
You got friends in here, lots of them. They're all just waiting to have a go at Donahue for you.
Now, that's not my style, and you know it. Besides, if they thump a confession out of her, that could do me more harm than good. They think I'm a thug, they could lock me up forever. I don't want any heavying.
Mightn't be that easy to stop them. You know what the women are like when they get head up? They thump first and listen to reason later.
Fancy having to face up to this first thing in the morning. What I'd give for breakfast in bed.
What I'd give for anything in bed.
Yeah.
She's pushing me around.
What?
The thugs in
Look, just sit down, eat your breakfast, stop drawing attention to yourself. Hurry up, Lewis. You're on cleaning duties today.
What?
I want to see the rec room spotless before lunchtime.
Why? What have I done?
You're obviously not familiar with the rules in here. Answering an officer back can land you in solitary. All on your own.
You can't force her to work. She's only on remand.
Are you trying to tell me my job? She volunteered to work. However, it doesn't mean she can choose her own jobs.
I reckon this is all a setup.
Are you trying to end up in solitary?
No.
No, then mind your own business.
All set? Can't be late first day back.
Oh, Dad, do I have to?
Sweetheart, there's no sense in putting it off. Come on, you got lots of friends. It'll be all right.
I know. But there's always a few who pick on the other kids. They're going to say things. I know they are.
Well, sweetheart, you're just going to have to ignore them and stick with your friends. There's always someone willing to kick you when you're down, darling. That's a fact of life, and there's nothing you can do to change that. You're just going to have to live with it.
How come Mum can't accept things the way you do?
When you're older and a mother yourself, I think you'll understand her better. The worst thing a mother can imagine happening to a daughter has happened to you. And it's even worse for her seeing Carol Lewis every day. That keeps the memory alive. Give her time. She'll be all right.
I know. But I get so scared she's going to do something awful to Carol.
Don't underestimate your mother, Jen. I know she gets a bit hot under the collar at times, but underneath, she's a professional through and through. Now, come on, slow coach, eh? Let's get the ball rolling.
Okay. Time's up.
What?
I have just about had it with you, Jackie. And you know what I'm talking about.
Why do you keep picking on me? I haven't done nothing to any of you.
Oh, really? Is that so? You got a mate of ours, a 2-year sentence you didn't deserve. And you tried to get us into trouble with Pal when I warned you to stay away from the screws.
But I didn't.
I'm sick of your mealy-mouthed whinging. And I think it's about time we taught you a lesson. Grab her.
Let me go!
Now, you are going to shape up and do the right thing by all of us, not just Judy. Otherwise, I am going to permanently cleat your head. And don't think I won't go through with it.
Good morning, Wendy. I see you've beaten me to it this morning.
Oh, only by about 10 minutes. Oh, I've got the application list of visitors' passes. It has to be authorised.
Yes, of course. Cindy Potter to see Helen Smart. If I'm not mistaken, Potter served time in Wentworth herself for soliciting. I'm afraid that's out of the question. I'll have to cross her name off.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And Wendy, I'd like you to type a confidential memo with copies to all members of the staff involved in reception. Helen Smart is to have no visitors apart from immediate family and her legal counsel. And there to be no phone calls at all, as it's impossible to screen them.
Is something wrong, Mrs. Davidson?
Let us just say the powers that be are anxious there shall be no leaks in security. I'm sure I can rely on you to attend to that immediately.
Yes, of course. Oh, Mrs. Davidson, I'm afraid I have to leave at 2:30 today. I've got a dental appointment at 3.
That's all right. I'll arrange for someone to relieve you. Oh, and Wendy, yes. The memo, you'd better add that all mail is to be censored before it leaves Wentworth.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Yes, I understand, thanks. No visitors at all except family and lawyers.
That's what I figured. This story looks better all the time. Why else would they keep her on ice? Got to find out what she's got on Stanfield.
Now, you just watch your step. I don't want you to get into any trouble.
Who, me? Wouldn't dream of it.
What did you find out about her from that mate of yours in the Vice Squad?
Pretty interesting stuff. Smart's been a prostitute for years, done time for her on several occasions. But to her, it's a career, a business. Apart from that, she's clean. Rob reckons she's as trustworthy as any hooker, maybe more. And that's another funny thing that looks like Stanfield's work.
What?
Rob says she's never been known to have any connection with drugs. She's the last person he would have expected to have been busted for possession.
Morning.
Oh, hi.
How's the tooth?
Terrible. I'm going to have it out this afternoon.
You missed all the fireworks yesterday. Smith went to town on the Weekly Stir, so the governor ordered all the copies confiscated.
Oh, no, you're joking. I gave my copy to Matt Thomas.
What? Oh, hell. The restrictions were meant specifically to stop the press getting their hands on the paper.
Yeah, but I didn't know about any restrictions.
No, of course not. No, don't tell anyone I gave it to you. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Yeah, well, I won't say anything if you don't.
Ah, good. You are here. I have sent Lewis into the rec room to clean up the mess. Now, would you check it for me before the women finish work?
Sure.
Oh, don't any of you dirty buggers clean up anything after you?
Yeah, I thought Po-Face sent you in here to clean this mess up.
But I did.
Oh, yeah? Do it with your bloody eyes closed.
Oh, lay off it, Doreen.
Lewis, weren't you told to clean this room?
She reckons she did.
You've got to admit, though, it looks like no one's been near it.
Certainly doesn't.
I'm telling you, I cleaned it.
Yeah, picked up some dirty habits from that ratbag old man of yours, I suppose.
You just keep him out of it, you dirty little bitch.
Don't you call me names, I'll mash your face in.
Cut it out.
All right. What's all the fuss about?
Lewis says she cleaned it up, but see for yourself.
Do any of you know how the room got into this mess? Susie?
No, Mrs. Powell.
Very well. If Lewis cleaned it, as she claimed, we can't blame her for its present state, can we? And since there's no other explanation, I'm going to hold you all responsible.
Oh, come off it.
You've all lost privileges for a day.
Are you satisfied now?
Enough. Get outside, The rest of you start cleaning this up.
The rest of us?
Well, you're certainly not going to win any friends with that kind of behaviour, are you? Right, after lunch, you can help Birdsworth in the kitchen. Let's hope you're better at that than you are with cleaning.
I did clean that room. Why won't you believe me?
All right, we do believe you. Now, the lunch bell will be going in a minute. Try and stay out of trouble till then.
It's not bloody fair, punishing all of us just because Lewis didn't do her job.
Oh, give it a rest, Lizzie. She's having a rough enough time as it is. She didn't even come to lunch.
Good riddance to bad rubbish.
No one round here believes anything you tell them, do they?
Oh, yes, they do. Well, most of the time.
What do you reckon, Jude? Is Carl up to something?
I don't know, and I don't care. I got enough on my plate as it is.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Oh, we don't need any privileges. We can make our own fun, can't we, Jude?
Huh? I'm sorry, Liz. I wasn't listening to you.
The still. All that lovely booze. I've got all the ingredients
Please,
stashed
Lizzie,
away.
I'm not in the mood, okay?
Oh, typical. Nobody wants to help. You all want to drink it, though, but you don't want to do the hard yakka. Bloody wet blankets.
Well, I reckon we should get some action organised around here. That Carol Lewis shouldn't be allowed to get away with these things. And I reckon Judy'd buck up if we got that Jackie sorted out.
Yeah, well, Lizzie, if you really want a hand, I'm your girl.
Good. I'm glad that somebody wants to help. I've got all this stuff stashed away, but I don't want to leave it in my cell. I don't know how to get it to the boiler room.
Right, well, what about after lunch? How long does this stuff take to brew, anyway?
Well, depends how strong you want it.
Stronger the better.
Once we got the still set up, we can have continuous booze. The only thing is, I don't know where to store it.
Why don't you store it in the fire extinguishers? We appear to be too wet to catch fire.
Good idea, Jude. That's the ticket.
I was only kidding.
But it'd be right under the screw's noses. And what better place to store firewater?
How you going?
All right. You're the only one who gives a damn.
Well, I want us to be mates.
Why? I mean, why me?
Well, you and me, we've been in the same boat, you see. I got mixed up with a couple of blokes, like you. I was off my head about one of them. I would have done anything he asked, and he knew it. Just used me up. Even after he was dead, I was never really sure if he ever loved me.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Look, don't worry about the rest of these juggers. They'll come around.
I did clean that rec room, Margot. Do you believe that?
Yeah. Something pretty fishy going on, but I believe you.
Pal said she believed me. Fat lot of good it did me.
Look, I wouldn't trust that bitch as far as I could throw her. You keep away from her, Carol.
How can I? She's always hanging around. She's put me on kitchen duty now.
It's a pretty cushy job. Now, why would she do that? I would have thought she would have had something really rotten up her sleeve for you. Still, keep you away from the others until they cool down.
How long will that take?
Oh, a couple of days. You're lucky. While they've got Donahue to worry about, they're not going to waste too much time on you.
Raisins are dried grapes, and they make wine from grapes, don't they?
Why didn't I think of that?
Here we go.
Lizzie, don't you think we should have measured them up? You just poured the whole lot in there.
I know what I'm doing. The sooner it starts working, the sooner we can have a drink.
And supposing we can't get the still to work?
It'll still be a good strong brew, even if it's not distilled. So will you stop carrying on?
Yeah, well, we better get a move on. The bell's gone.
Bugger it. I want to see if there was any hose or any piping in that junk there.
Look, we're late already. Do you want them to come looking for us?
All right. Keep your shirt on.
Come on.
Lucy, Ellen, shouldn't you be at work?
Work? Is it that late already?
God, time gets away from you, doesn't it?
Didn't you hear the work?
No.
Oh, Helen was telling me the story about football. We were laughing so much we didn't hear a thing.
We better get going.
Yeah, I reckon.
Susie. Judy Bryant. She's pretty popular, isn't she?
Yeah, she'd do anything to help you.
Yeah, I know. She took a real chance taking on that drunk. She didn't know me from Adam.
So it was you. How could you keep denying it when you knew how badly she wanted out?
I was scared. I'd never been inside before. I couldn't stand the thought of having to stay here. Guess I really stuffed things up for her.
You sure did. Judy's got a daughter, Laurie. She and her husband really put themselves out to get Judy paroled. Now Judy can't even face her own kid and tell her she's back inside.
Look, I never meant to hurt her, honest. I didn't think she'd get caught. And I needed the money.
For what?
Things were just going bad, that's all. Anyway, if you saw a wallet loaded with dough, what would you do? Hand it in? Hell, I don't want to do 2 years here. Now that bastard reckons I assaulted him.
Look, sweetie, you can't win. If you don't confess, they'll pin you as an accomplice and you'll get 2 years anyway. At least if you let Judy off the hook, you'll have some friends in here, not a bunch of cons who hate your guts. Now, you think about that.
I don't like putting these restrictions on Helen Smart, especially as the one responsible for the article was Smith, but we can't risk anything getting into the press.
No, of course not. Although if the women really want to get information out, they'll find a way no matter what we do.
Well, I've asked Mrs. Power to double-check anything that could jeopardise security. How is she coping with the Carol Lewis situation?
Well, I really don't know how to answer that. On the surface, I mean, she seems thoroughly professional. But underneath, I get the feeling that she's struggling to keep herself under control.
I suspected as much. Well, Carol Lewis could be with us for some time, so let's hope she can deal with her feelings. Oh, Mrs. Power, we were just discussing the censorship problems. How are the women taking it?
They're not too happy about it, but I suppose they can't have their own way all the time, can they? Anyhow, we've got another problem in our hands. Pilfering in the kitchen. Foodstuffs are missing.
Very well. Order an immediate cell search.
Right.
Come on, Jude. It'll all work itself out.
No, it won't. What's the point in kidding myself?
Don't forget we've got unfinished business with you-know-what in you-know-where.
Lizzie, you're priceless. Listen, can it wait a while, love? I don't want to leave Jude while she's feeling down.
Oh, no, don't worry about me. And heck, I want to be on my own anyway.
Okay, if you're sure.
Poor Jude, she looks like the world's coming to an end.
Yeah, it's all that bloody Jackie Donahue's fault, the lying little bitch.
Yeah, but what can we do about it?
Well, we can bloody well make sure she owns up for a start. Thump a confession out of her, not just threaten her like Bea did.
Yeah, but you know, Jude, she'll probably want to reason with her.
Reason's getting her a long bloody way, isn't it?
Yeah, she's no closer to getting out of here than she was before Jackie Donahue came in.
Well, we can fix all that. If Bea doesn't want to take care of Donahue, it doesn't mean to say that we can't. What do you reckon?
All right, I'll be in it.
Have a look and see what you can find in that lot while I put the potato peelings in.
Potato peelings? Are you off your head?
That lot, you know, potatoes ferment real quick. Oh, they'll give us a real good kick.
Well, have you set that thermostat? We don't want it exploding all over the ceiling.
Well, that should keep it warm without it overheating. Now, what have we got in there? Oh, this should come in handy. Oh, what's this?
Hey, it's copper. That's good.
Oh, at this rate, we soon have everything we need.
Well, I think I can put it together okay. I went over it all a couple of times with Jude.
You little beauty!
Lizzie, look. They've even supplied us with a fire extinguisher.
extinguisher. Yeah, but we can't come in here every time we feel like a snort.
Well, don't worry. When this is full, we'll just swap it over with an extinguisher closer to home.
Supposing we fill all the extinguishers, that'll be just like having a pub on every corner.
Now, you sure you can manage?
Yes, of course. Now stop worrying or you'll be late. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, no, I promised Mrs. Davidson I'd type up some reports, so I'll be back later on. That is if he doesn't pull out every tooth in my head.
Good luck. Thank you.
All right, come on, just keep quiet while the cells are being searched.
Where's Judy? I've got to tell her something.
I haven't seen her.
All right, starting there. Anything?
No, nothing at all. Birdsworth and Smart were both missing from their cells, though.
Oh, were they?
They went to the loo. Probably didn't even know about the cell search.
Both of them?
Oh, well, Lizzie's getting old, you know. She needs the company.
As long as they're in the building. Faulkner and Bailey, they're searching the communal areas. You help in here with Gaffney's.
Susie, I've made up my mind. I'm going to sign a confession. Would you tell Judy if you see her?
Oh, sure. I'll tell her as soon as they've finished here. Thanks, Jackie.
Why don't you tell us what you're looking for? Then maybe we could give it to you and save time.
The next time you open your mouth, you'll be in solitary. Is that clear? Crystal.
We found something in the rec room.
Right. Mrs. Morris, stop the search. Now, get the women to tidy their cells and everybody in the rec room within 10 minutes.
Right, ladies, you heard Mrs. Powell. Tidy the cells and in the rec room in 10 minutes. Now, come on, hurry up here. Move along.
Hey, still want to have a go at Donahue?
Yeah?
Well, we won't get a better chance than right now.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you could make it. Hope it wasn't too much trouble.
Oh, that's all right, Miss Powell. We mind, did we help?
Mr. Faulkner, who's responsible for this?
Who was on kitchen duty today?
Lizzie?
Yeah, but I didn't pinch that. I don't even like the stuff. It gives me hives.
Well, I was on kitchen duty too, but I don't know nothing about it.
So that means it could have been any one of you. Who would like to own up?
Well, I wouldn't hide it in here where anyone could find it. I mean, I might be old, but I'm not senile.
Anyone? So no one's prepared to own up. Okay, I'll hold you all responsible. There'll be no more buy-up privileges for the week.
Oh, that stinks!
One more word, and I'll make it 2 weeks.
Oh, Miss Morris, can I have a word with you?
Okay, Lewis, that's the second time today we've copped it because of you, you troublemaking bitch.
You don't know that it was me.
Listen, you get off her back. You've got no proof.
She's the only one who could have done it. You could have been in it with her. You love her so much, I should bust both of you.
Cool it, Doreen. The corridor is full of screws. Now, we don't want them coming down on our heads again.
Okay, Lewis, but you watch out. You'll need eyes in the back of your head.
Judy, that's marvellous. And she said she'd sign a confession.
Yes, I can't believe I'm going to get out.
Steady on. There's a lot of red tape to go through before that happens.
Yeah, I know. All I care about, though, is that it will happen.
Mrs. Morris, Mrs. Powell wants you to take Smart out to the garden. She's got a visitor.
Look, this won't take long. I'll come and see you when I've finished.
Right, I'll wait for you.
Now, what's this about the garden?
It's Smart's brother. Colin's got him in reception now. Apparently he doesn't want to be seen by any of the other prisoners. So I'll take him out and supervise if you can bring Smart out.
Right, but it sounds a bit silly to me.
One's not to reason why.
Oh, it's not fair. We're not even allowed to watch the telly.
Yeah, and we know who to thank for that, don't we?
Smart, your brother's here to see you.
My brother? Well, what a nice surprise.
Well, Lewis?
Come off it. It could have been Lizzie.
Bite your bum. I've got something really important going. I'm not going to bugger it up for a couple of packets of lousy drinking chocolate.
I told you I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You ought to have a bloody record made.
Someone is setting me up.
Look, that is just an excuse for any troublemaker who hasn't got the guts to own up.
Plenty of us have been set up in this stinking hole.
Yeah, and plenty of people chicken out of trouble too. Yeah, that's right.
Why don't you just believe me?
Oh, shut up.
All of you shut up or you'll find yourself on report. If I were you, I'd be careful what I did in future, Lewis.
Why don't you tell that to the Deputy Governor?
What's that supposed to mean, Gaffney?
Anyone with half a brain can see that Carol's being set up, and you don't have to be a genius to work out that it's Mrs. Powell doing the setting.
It's ridiculous.
Is it? Are you forgetting why she's in here? I'll remind you if you like.
That's enough, Gaffney. I'm not listening to this sort of nonsense.
You have to side with her. You're a screw.
If I were you, I'd drop it. You're heading for very big trouble.
Why don't you go and ask her? Just see if she can look you straight in the eye when she denies it.
She shouldn't be too long now.
Right, up there.
G'day, sis. You look fine.
So do you. I wasn't expecting you.
Would you believe they actually searched me before they let me in? I felt like a criminal.
Who the hell are you?
Matt Thomas, from the Dispatch.
What do you know? Have I got a story for you? And he always paid me by company check. Now, there's one other thing. I was framed on this drug possession charge. The only person I know that wants me out of the way is Stanfield. So that means he's got to be involved in drugs somehow.
Look, you help me, and I'll help you get out. But I need proof. Real evidence.
Yeah, I've got it. Only...
It's worth $5,000 to you.
You've got it. Everything you need's in my bank accounts and statements. You give me a pen and paper and I'll write you an authorization. Only don't let that screw see you.
Jackie?
Who did this?
I don't know.
Anything to do with Bryant's confession?
I think so.
Poor kid.
No!
Do you want to be moved to isolation?
Just get me away.
But what about the...
Well, I didn't expect to see you here so soon. How's the tooth?
Gone. And no pain, thank goodness. He's really good, you know. He only took a minute.
Oh, that's good.
I see Mrs. Davidson's lifted the restrictions on Helen Smart's visitors.
What makes you think that?
Oh, I just saw her out in the garden talking to Matt Thomas.
Who?
Oh, Matt Thomas. He's a reporter on the Dispatch.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines. man, waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too. When morning comes around.